Welcome back to Everlasting Summer Part 11. I am significantly less sick than last time. So let's go. I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to the abandoned camp yesterday and then woke up in his bed this morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those two events. I see. Alright then. You missed the breakfast, right? Come to our club. We'll feed you. I have something special. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Electronic smiled in a conspiring way? Conspiring way? I think the second one's right. Thanks. I'll come. Probably. I had to wash myself first anyways. We'll be waiting. He waved at me and left to mind his own business. There was nobody near the washstands. Water turned on surprisingly warm today. It got warmed up already, I guess. Having my face washed, I realized that it wouldn't be easy to wash the rest of my body here. Maybe I had to go to the showers. But since there's nobody here, I turned the tap in such a way so water streamed parallel to the ground and started to take off my clothes. And what if somebody sees me? Well, I'll rinse and dry myself quickly and put my clothes on. Water, which seemed warm for hands and face, felt bone-chilling cold for my body. The whole washing process took no longer than 10 seconds, and I started to wipe myself quickly afterwards. But I haven't managed to finish anyways. There were voices coming in from the footpath direction. Ooh. The only solution came in a split second. I grabbed my clothes and dashed into the bushes. A moment later, Elisa and Liliana appeared near the washstands. You could do it by yourself. Why'd you bring me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. Wonder how they have managed that. Elisa opened the valve and started to rub Liana's back. Take off your bra. Bam. What if somebody sees us? What, is there anything to see? She grinned. Okay, just be quick. It was true that there wasn't much to look at, but even then I stared at the girls narrowly. It was a pity that they were standing with their backs to me. A minute later, Elisa managed to wash off all the paint. I'm done. Thanks. You're welcome. Elisa replied lazily. Listen, let me try on yours. She pointed at Elisa's bra. It won't suit you for sure. Why is she now has an accent? I can't remember the voice I did for Elisa. I don't know, for some reason I always forget hers. Well, I'd like to try anyways. In here. There's nobody here, right? Liana looked my way and smiled archly. Oh, she knows. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in these bushes, but... Enough with that foolishness. Seriously, I don't remember her voice. Whatever. Liana wasn't listening to her anymore and grabbed Elisa's bra with a dexterous move instead. Now I have to confess, I had something to look at. I was watching the two girls chasing one another on the washstands with bated breath. Elisa covered her breasts with her hands, so I could barely see anything at all. I leaned forward and, having stumbled over a stone, fell out of the bushes. Ooh. Elisa and Liliana stood frozen, staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with a guilty face. Such tableau has lasted for a few seconds, and then Elisa took her shirt and somehow put it on in a moment. You! Her face has gone from red to purple. It looked like she'll explode with a nuclear blast any second. The only thing I wanted was to disintegrate into atoms and get as far away from the epicenter as possible. He was sitting there the whole time! So, she noticed me then. You! Think we broke her. And I accidentally, if you know what I mean. Ladies. Elisa rushed to me. Covering my butt with one hand and holding my clothes with the other, I ran into the woods. It seemed the best solution to me at that time, as showing up naked in the middle of the camp accompanied by 2 screaming girls wasn't a good idea. I ran without looking back, and stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. It seemed that there was no pursuit, so I managed to save myself, but at the price of lacerated, scratching, and bleeding feet, as I had no time to put on my boots. I sat on the tree stump and sighed. Sometime later, having dressed already, I got out of the forest. I need to decide what to do next. My feet are hurting, so I should go straight to the infirmary. But on the other hand, my stomach isn't going to wait either. Maybe I should accept Electronic's invitation. Or head to the canteen and hope of something left to eat there. Oh, you're gonna make me do the choice. You're gonna make me choose. I think I'm gonna go to the infirmary. Yeah. I was always taking a good care about my health. And even a better care at the times when something starts to hurt badly. So without hesitation, I made my way to the infirmary. But right in front of the door, I stopped as if some mysterious force was holding me. I had absolutely no desire to face the camp nurse without any urgent need. On the other hand, I almost did a great deed yesterday, defending the infirmary. So she owed to me in some sense. I took heart and opened the door. Hi, Pioneer. She has a male voice. Hello. Sorry that I was so late yesterday. I was trying to do a different voice. She'll have a male voice. That wasn't a problem at all. Why have you come? Are you sick? She smiled slyly. Well, I got my feet a bit. You got a bit what? My feet. I gave a stupid answer. Okay, show them. I sat on the couch and took off my boots. How did you manage that? I was better kept silent about anything happening near the washstands. Okay, never mind. Wait a second. She rummaged in the drawer and took out a big red pill with a cross-shaped notch from the vial. What's this for? I was disturbed by the size of the pill and its strange form. They are broken in halves usually, and not in quarters. This is to make an amputation of your legs unnecessary. What? Whoa. Nothing. Don't be afraid. Pioneer. You'll take it and it'll be alright. And why this pill looks like that? That's for patients who refuse to take medicines perorally. Or screw them in with the screwdriver then. I didn't dare to ask where they were being screwed in actually. And I tried to bear it a bit. She took a big pack of cotton wool, wrapped a bud with it, and applied plenty of iodine to it. I got myself ready for the torments of hell. Aye! I've moaned quietly. But my trust to this method of disinfection was much higher than to the odd pill, so I had to stand the burning well. No, it's done. I put on my boots and tried to walk. My feet were still hurting, but the sharp pain was gone. Thank you. Don't mention it. Drop in any time. Pioneer. I said goodbye and left the infirmary. Thank God I don't have to do that voice anymore. My health problem was solved. It's the right time to eat now. The day had just started, and I've gone through so many things already. But I did it, and now I have my legit right to fill myself full. Today, I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included a pea soup and mashed potatoes with a fish. I was a major disappointed. What? It was a major disappointment to me, as I don't eat fish in any form, and hence will get fewer calories than usually. Soon, Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Eh? Yes, sure. I stood up and pulled her chair. Please. I was in an excellent mood at the moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena started staring at me and continued for some time, but then after realizing that she looked somehow odd, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. I gave an honest answer as I had no plans indeed. Except for searching for answers, but it was more like a global goal. Do you want to have a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga asked to gather some strawberries. There's a lot of strawberries there, and it's so delicious. I can imagine that taste without even tasting it, just by looking at Slavia's face. Her face is a strawberry? Strawberry. And what is that for? To eat? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been on the island yet. Yeah, sure. In 10 minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here is the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberry? Well, not really. But it's tasty. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavia wouldn't be back, we could probably be sitting here till the very evening, without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. What, do you think they're gonna paddle? We got up into the boat, I untied it, pushed off the shore, and tried to start paddling. And where exactly are we heading to? Right there. She pointed her finger at the island. This island is named Closest One. I wonder what captain gave it such a name. This island is close to the shore indeed. Aye aye, Captain. If only I could know what is waiting for me ahead. I wasn't an experienced oarsman, more so. I rowed a boat just once or twice in my entire life. It was less than half a mile to the island, but we were cutting our way in zigzags thanks to my skills. Approximately in the middle of our path, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, isn't there any strawberries somewhere else? I mean, in more accessible places. But the tastiest ones grow here. Slavia gave me a puzzling look. It must be hard for you to row alone. Lena, unlike Slavia, realized everything straight off. Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, I wouldn't let a fragile girl help me. The rest of the path I've spent concentrating on being alive while getting to the island. Slavia and Lena discussed something, but I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. At last, we have arrived. Completely exhausted, I got out onto the shore and looked at the boathouse. It seemed so far away that I felt myself like a first person on the moon watching the earth rise. Here you are. Slavia handed me the basket. It was a small island, hardly 100 meters long, and it looked more like a birch grove with even rows of trees covering the entire surface of it. Calm green sea spread beneath our feet, with wind causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. This island looked like a lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberry grows here. We've got to split up. This way we'll do the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there are only two baskets, said Lena humbly. Oh, you're right. My bad. And how are we going to split up then? I want to say with Lena, but I also want to say with Slavia at the same time. Oh no, I hate this. I'll go with Slavia. I didn't want to walk here alone and hope for Slavia to join me, but didn't bring myself to ask. Well, it's obvious. One basket for me, one for you two. No, let me go with you. Slavia smiled. Okay, now I feel like a dick as well because Lena's shy and I don't know. I was a bit surprised, but in fact I was glad that it turned out like this. Lena seemed to take no offense at all. The reaping has commenced. The strawberry was delicious here indeed. I could probably eat it all if I wouldn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to the garden ones in size and had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Slavia was walking right beside me as we held only one basket. I felt myself a mushroom picker, looking under every shrub and searching through the grass carefully. Pay attention. An entire bunch of strawberries was left behind. Ah, yeah. I'm sorry. It's fine. You must enjoy being here, don't you? You like nature, after all. Of course I do. Slavia smiled. It reminds me about my home. We have similar beautiful birches there. She gazed somewhere in the distance dreamingly. Look, I've always wanted to ask, what are you fond of in general? You look busy 24/7 and it seems like you have no time to rest at all. She started to think. I don't know really. Changing my activity is a way to rest for me. Well, it's understandable, but still. I like doing knitting and sewing. Something like that. Slavia got a handkerchief out of her pocket. There were red, yellow, and green flowers embroidered on it. They were entangling each other in a complicated way, creating sophisticated geometric forms. Such a typical Russian handmade handkerchief. Glimpsing at it, I instantly imagined Slavia in the ancient Seraphim. I still can't pronounce that. Sitting on the bench beside Ramshackle House with a crowd of playing children running around. It's quite cute. Thanks. Let me give it to you as a gift. Such a proposal embarrassed me. You shouldn't. No, take it. I looked at the handkerchief once again and put it into my pocket. Thank you. Did I just hear a horse? There was so much strawberry here that after a mere half an hour, we had the basket filled to the brim. Seems we're done. Yes. We've got a lot, so it should be enough for sure. Once we got back to the boat, Lena wasn't here yet. She needs more time to fill the basket by herself. Yeah, I guess so. Is just me, or is Slavia getting an accent? I looked at the river. Sun sparkles happily dancing around the water surface were the only thing helping to distinguish it from a mirror. That's how calm the river seemed. What are you thinking about? Nothing really. And you? Me? What will happen once vacation is over? We'll get back to our homes and leave this camp. Whoa. Will I ever see anyone I met here again? Will I ever see you again? She looked at me with her eyes full of sorrow, so I couldn't think up what to say. Lena came out of nowhere, helping me to break the pause. Oh, you've done already. Here. She showed a basket full of strawberries. Great. Now we can go back. And I still had Slavia's face and those words of hers in my mind. Sadness and sorrow weren't the kind of emotions typical of her. Could she be hiding them all the time under the mask of cheerfulness? I had no answer to this question, and I knew I couldn't in any way. Maybe later. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate myself on rowing and avoided everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip didn't go by without consequences, and now my hand started to hurt just after a few sweeps of oars. Having moored up the boat, I fall into the ground with no energy left. Slavia and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Yes. Never mind, it's fine. I'll just lay here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay, then get those baskets to Olga, please, as we have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at that moment, so I just won't have to get up. Slappy put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest thing was done, anyways. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the sport paddling, they seemed cement bags while weighing barely above a few kilograms each. I have to pause for a minute. Sorry about that interruption. So the way to the camp leader cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop after every 50 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat into the sun lounger with difficulty. Olga! Olga, I've got presents for you! There was no answer. I hardly managed to get up and enter the cabin. There was nobody there. If you don't need it, it's up to you. I lay down on the sun lounger and fell asleep. I had a weird dream about a strawberry race. I was paddling a boat with my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge berries chasing me. My hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because of sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. This image. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait. Strawberries with teeth? Semyon! Semyon! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulders. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Thanks to the girls' help, yeah. Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a single idea. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of it. I see. Well, it makes sense. To honor the miraculous saving of Shurik. And it's all thanks to you. It was clear that getting strawberries wasn't the last thing to do. And why, please tell me, if I'm such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name by myself? Who said you had to do it by yourself? What? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. Of course you do. We are missing yeast, flour, and sugar. And need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make a cake can't deal with it on their own or somehow? I asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. She's getting a British accent too. What is up with that? And you are the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. While her words were partially true, it didn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So, write it down. You'll get the yeast from the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Okay? Wait, I have no time. I'm in a hurry. Good luck. Yeast in the infirmary, something in the... shit. And something in the clubhouse. Oh. I didn't actually read that, I just realized. She smiled slyly and left. Of course, there are a lot of strange things in this camp, but... yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but... flour in the library? And sugar? No, it's way beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I don't want, and I will not, believe this. Tell me, just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of green fat trolls would appear here, right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated. God, I couldn't. Wow, obligated to laugh at me. So maybe hell with this cake. I've been weighing my options for some time. No, if such a major Olga's plan would fail because... that would fail, I'll get it... oh my god. No, if such a major of Olga's plan would fail if I'll get it hot like no tomorrow. I cannot read. And it will complicate both my life in the camp and my search for the answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. It seems I have no other option. Alright, go to the infirmary first. Back here again. I feel like I visited the infirmary too often recently. But what can I do? That's how things pan out. I sighed and knocked the door. Come in, the nurse said with a trace of a singing accent. Come in. Good afternoon. Olga sent me to get some... I've hesitated slightly. Yeast. Ah, sure. She gave me a broad smile. It's just that I don't have any. Pioneer? How so? She said that... Well, I had some, but now nothing is left. I didn't even bother asking why she had them in the first place. Well, don't you worry. You can have some aspirin, for example. It could be of some use for me, actually. Where do I get it, then? I sighed. Take this. She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of bottle. Austin Kinsko was a well-known brand of cheap beer in the USSR. I took a closer look. It was Austin Kinsko beer. What's the matter? The beer is also a fermentation product. She gave me a deep gaze. Nobody will even notice. I don't know why she has a British accent, but she does, okay? She had a point, but everything just looked so grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. Are you sure? Absolutely. Okay, then. The bottle clearly didn't fit into the shorts pocket. Well, thanks. I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Well, beer certainly could replace yeast. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology was enough to accept this. But... generally, walking around with this bottle in my hands looked like a silly idea to me, so I decided to bring it to Olga's cabin and hide it in there. But I had to reach it somehow without anybody noticing the beer. I hid the bottle under my shirt. And everything could be fine, but I was called by Slavia at the square. Actually, she sprang out from behind me so suddenly that I even gave a start. How's it going? What exactly? Your search for ingredients. How does she know? Ah, so you know already. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going alright, I've answered, trying not to give away my unrest. And what do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from under the shirt. Ah, this? She got me. It's nothing. I blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. I was almost running, leaving the square with a puzzled Slavia behind. It's great that she is one of those people who won't ask unnecessary questions. But there are people in this camp who like nothing better than poking their noses into other people's business. Passing pioneers' cabins, I've stumbled upon Ilyana. What are you hiding there? She gave me one of her cocky looks. I thought there was no point in denying anything, so I replied in a provoking manner. It's none of your business. I'm a cipher officer bringing a message to the headquarters. You've got a big message. I was carrying a bottle at waist height, so I was slightly embarrassed. You might want some help. I'll deal with it on my own. I walked past her confidently and proceeded my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything, nor tried to pursue me. There was nobody at Olga's cabin, so I've managed to stuff the bottle under my bed successfully. Once I got outside, I sighed with relief. Really, I couldn't believe that I would ever worry that much about a single bottle of beer. Like I got back into high school. It's a good thing that it's all safe now. Even if somebody will find it, I'll claim that it's not mine. I could always think up a suitable excuse from my enormous experience. Alright, we gotta go to the library for flour. I didn't remember properly click on that, but whatever. If every other place on in the K component list... If every other place in the K component list at least made some sense to me, then flour made from the library made none. I thought hard on who and why would want it in the library, but couldn't find any sane explanation after all. Given Xenia's, I'm told it's pronounced like Genya? I don't know, I'm just so used to Xenia now, I think I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know, for my English mind, Xenia makes more sense. Given Xenia's harsh nature, I better knock first. Open! Xenia had peered at me closely from under her glasses. What do you want? Don't think anything wrong, but I need a I didn't want to look like an idiot and decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga said that it's here. I understand that sounds strange to keep the flour in the library, but I was sent to you, and it's needed for cake to celebrate Sherrick's rescue. Yes, I have the flour, and what's so strange about it? Xenia replied with surprise. At that second, I felt myself like I got hit with a heavy weight in my head and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library. Sure, what's so strange about that? We're in the Wonderland. I'm Alice. Now I'm gonna eat that magic mushroom and I'll be back home. Hey! Yeah? I was daydreaming. Wait here, I'll be right back. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I crisscrossed my hands and started waiting. And I will be right back in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.